Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. Alright, guys, the content that we're going to cover tonight happened a couple of days ago in West Virginia. Now, you may or may not have heard, I'm talking about a woman who took her self defense seriously. She legally concealed carried a firearm, and in the end of the day, to her surprise, she saved 30 to 40 people going against an overbearing opponent, overmatched and outgunned heavily, and yet she prevailed. This is incredibly important, and this is a great video to send out to anyone that you know is questioning or kind of silent on the gun rights versus gun control debate, because this shows you a firearm, a blessing of the Second Amendment, is an extension of the person. It does not have thoughts, does not have emotions. It is an extension of the individual bearing that weapon forward. This is incredibly important because it's a blessing, and this is a good example of what happens when a good woman with a gun has the opportunity to defend those that she cares about. Everything will be linked in the description box below. Make sure you guys are subscribed this week because we've got new gun law legislation, gun law negotiations. Canada just outright banned the ownership of firearms. This is going to be a poppin' week, so make sure that subscription is still active and that bell is on. I'm going to say a quick word from our sponsor made this video possible, and then we're going to hit it and walk through this entire story on the other side. Now, I know a lot of you out there like to repair and upgrade your own guns. If you're looking for a way to take your hobby to the next level, Sonoran Desert Institute can help. The online programs at SDI cover armor courses, gunsmithing, ballistics, woodworking and finishes, shooting sports management, and more. Plus, tools and materials are shipped to your door for hands-on practice. It's never been a better time to get an education that you can actually use, so what are you waiting for? Visit sdi.edu in the description box below, and thank you to SDI for making this video possible. But now, let me show you what this woman, a legally armed citizen, did and saved 30 to 40 lives, like I said, in the face of overwhelming force. This is incredibly important, and you'll never hear this on the mainstream media because it violates the narrative of control. Let's dive in. As I said, everything linked in the description box. Woman credited with stopping situation at apartment complex in West Virginia. Okay, so you may have heard about this, but let's dive into the details because I really want to hit this. Charleston, West Virginia. Police say a woman's actions may have prevented a situation event following an altercation about a man speeding through a neighborhood. So, the guy was speeding, so some people yelled at him. Quote, "She did the right thing. I don't know if any other person would have done that," said Lieutenant Tony Hazlitt and with the Charleston Police Department. So, this one woman stood up to what I'm about to show you. He was approached by people attending a graduation party and a birthday party who asked him to slow down as children were playing, which is not an unreasonable request. But this piece of human waste decided, you know what? As a rational human being, I'm going to go get an AR-15 and return meanly. Let's say it like that. You know what I'm doing. All right, let's keep going. Witnesses said, insert piece of trash, seemed agitated and left, but returned to the complex shortly after, armed with an AR-15. And started shooting at the crowd. Okay, that's a problem. Police said a woman pulled out her pistol, shooting and killing him. Now, the important thing about this is, I don't know if this young lady had, or old lady, I don't even know, I don't know any details. I don't know if this woman was one of the new gun owners who purchased a gun out of fear in the rising crime over the past few years. I don't know if she's been shooting her whole life. I have no details about that. But what I can tell you is she was clearly trained, she was clearly confident, she pulled out her pistol to stop a threat, she kept her calm and cool, and executed the problem, and 30 to 40 people were saved by a pistol taking on a rifle. You tell me if you don't have power like this woman does, because every single one of us does. She was clearly trained, and that clearly showed here. That is incredible. Quote, "This lady was carrying a lawful firearm," Hazlitt said. "A law-abiding citizen who stopped the threat of probably 20 or 30 people getting killed. She engaged the threat and stopped it. She didn't run from the threat, she engaged it. Prevented a situation event here in Charleston." Again, now you might be tempted if you're on the left-leaning side of this debate, well, the person who had the rifle was clearly wrong and we need more gun control to prevent that from happening. Ha ha! Let's get into that. Court records showed human waste had been convicted of 2 felonies in the past, so he should not have had a gun. So how, if he's got a felony, which is illegal for him to own a gun, how would he have an AR-15 if gun laws were going to stop him from owning any type of gun? The point is, criminals are going to criminal. We say it all the time on this channel. The idea that a law is going to stop a criminal who is intent on committing murder. Oh, you know what? I was going to do that, but since it's illegal for me to carry a gun, I'm going to not do that. What world does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. This woman took that idea to heart, carried her own pistol, and saved 30 to 40 people. A firearm is an extension of the person using it. It is not inherent with its own thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. It is a machine. And that's what the most important part is. It is a piece of equipment that she used to save lives. Let's keep going with this last part. Speaking about the woman, Hazlitt said, quote, "She's just a member of the community who was carrying her firearm lawfully. And instead of running from the threat, she engaged with the threat and saved several lives last night." End quote. So now I'm going to ask you the big burning question I'm sure is in all of your minds. Why is this not in the 24-hour news cycle? Why is this not being repeated on every day, every headline? Why are we not looking into her background? Why are we not looking into everything that she's ever done? Why are we not looking into the fact that she probably got 4 hours of sleep, not 6 that night? Maybe because this completely conflicts with the narrative of gun controllers. We can't be having that, so all you're going to hear about is the negative, which is what we counter every single day on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you tomorrow morning on the Bullet Points when we start to take on open Canadian confiscation. Thank you so much, and I'll see you then.